Welcome to day one of your 5-day Loving Your Authentic Self immersion. And let me start by saying that originally, when I put this 5-day week of content essentially on my calendar back in January, there was no way that I could have predicted that this is where we would be right now, dealing with the global issues and the local issues that we are experiencing in this moment. And my original intention for this week was to kind of go through the traditional marketing and onboarding of people for a group program that I offer every year, that's aimed at helping people release their exes and past relationships and kind of rebuild their foundation for love. It is an amazing program. I'm still really excited about it. We're still going to run it. It's a digital course, digital group coaching at the end of the month, and that exists. So if you are someone who might be interested in that, that information will be available elsewhere. But I've decided, in light of recent events, that it's much more aligned to use these 5 days, use this week of content to really just give people, all of us collectively, an opportunity to take a few moments each day and realign with our inner selves, realign with our highest potential, show ourselves some really profound self-love through some really tangible, powerful practices. So if you're here for this, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your trust. And I hope that over the next 5 days, through each of these exercises, through each of these resources that I'm going to provide for you, I hope that you are able to really just reconnect with your inner self and find some peace and some calm and some clarity and some care in your inner environment so that we can then collectively affect our outer environment. This meditation, this first day, I really wanted to focus on introducing you to something that was easy, tangible, and really accessible. And my goal is to give you a tool that you can do not only today, but anytime that you feel led to release the things that are perhaps no longer serving your best and highest potential, your best and highest purpose. And this guided visualization, this meditation that I'm going to lead you in this evening, is one of my favorites. It is one of the exercises that I use personally a lot in my own practice. And it's something that I teach and have taught over the last 10 years, many of my clients, as far as, again, something easy and tangible to do that really makes a big internal shift and a big internal difference. Know that you can use this exercise for something specific. If you have something in mind, something that's been bothering you, something that's very difficult, a relationship, emotion, something you're anxious over or worried about, anything that really feels misaligned or like it's not in alignment with kind of the best version of you, you can set an intention at the beginning of this exercise for that specific topic. What you want to do is, if you do something specific or maybe a short list of some things that you would love to hold intention for while we do this exercise, go ahead and feel free to pause the video, take out a piece of paper, and just spend a few moments jotting down those topics that you want to address, that you want the intention to be held for. A lot of times it is so much easier to just take a few minutes to write those things on paper, setting that intention kind of externally, rather than, worrying about holding that intention in your mind, making sure that you remember all the things while you're also focusing on doing the exercise. So I'm all about ease. I am all about making things easy and accessible, and, just jotting things down really does work. So pause the video if you have something specific in mind. Take a few moments, write those things down, and then just kind of fold that paper and put it to the side, because you don't have to pay attention to it again for the rest of the exercise. If you're doing this meditation or this visualization for general purposes, and you're not really sure what might come up or what needs releasing or shifting in your experience, then that's totally okay too. You don't have to write anything down, and you can just join in this meditation with me. Once you're ready to start the exercise, all I want you to do is make sure that you're in a comfortable seated position, somewhere where you're not likely to be disturbed. So, I would encourage you to treat this as sort of a sacred moment. Even though it's not really going to be hard and it's not going to take a lot of time, I want you to really carve out this space for yourself each day over the next 5 days, and you will be surprised, probably positively, at how much of a difference just this little bit of time makes for you. So making sure you're in a comfortable seated position. You can go ahead and close your eyes, and I want you to take both hands, palms down, and just place them over your heart. And just holding your hands there comfortably, I want you to begin to take a few deep breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth, sending that breath all the way down into your belly. Really taking a moment to breathe deeply, maybe more deeply than you do regularly. Not forcing any pace, not forcing any breath pattern, continuing to focus on a pattern and a pace that's comfortable for you. Take this moment to really tune into your body. And just follow your body's urges for breath as you send those inhales down into the belly and then exhaling through the mouth. Again, a comfortable pace, no pressure. For some of us, this might be the first time this week that we've really taken a moment just to breathe, just to be present with ourselves, just to relax, and just to take really full, deep breaths. In our modern day society, we often miss that as a biological cue, and it's very important. So just continuing to breathe comfortably and deeply, eyes closed. I want you to imagine yourself now sitting in a sacred space. And this sacred space is intended for you specifically and for your healing. As you picture or sense or feel this space in your mind's eye, I want you to begin to really pay attention to the details that are present for you. Pay attention to what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. This sacred space can be anything that comes to mind. It could be someplace that you have been before, and it could be someplace that you have never been before. It could be someplace that is familiar to you or exists on the planet, or someplace that does not exist on this planet or in this dimension. Without judgment and without expectation, allow whatever space comes to your mind to become clearer and clearer as you connect with it. Continuing to breathe as you imagine your current self, just as you are right now, sitting in this sacred space. Knowing that not only is this space intentional for you, and not only has it been created for you, but that you are entirely safe and entirely supported here. Nothing and no one can enter this space without your permission, and nothing and no one can leave this space unless you send it away. You are in control of your experience here. Feel the comfort that comes from being present in a space filled with so much intention and so much purpose and so much love. And as you continue to kind of bask in that feeling of comfort and safety, I want you to ask your higher self, your soul, to join you in this space. Your higher self or your soul, whatever term you're most comfortable with, is the best and highest version of you. It is the version of you, the part of your spirit that is still connected to the source of all that is, to the universe, to God. And it has the benefit of the higher perspective and the wisdom of the other side. It houses within it everything that you need in this life, now and always. Your soul, as you imagine it joining you in the space and sitting across from you, can look like anything you'd like it to look like. There is no pressure and no expectation. It might be a light, a color, a figure. It might look like another version of you or something entirely different. Be open to however it appears to you, and these details are for you. They're more messages, more information. And as you sit across from your highest self, from your very soul, I want you to imagine that between you on the ground is a container. This container can look like anything you'd like it to look like. It might be a box or a basket, a trunk, a vase, a bowl, an orb. Any kind of container that comes to mind is completely appropriate. The important thing about this container is that it is not just any ordinary container. It can hold anything that you place into it. And as you sit across from the best and highest version of you, I want you to begin to imagine that any energy, any beliefs, any memories, any trauma, any experiences that you have ever held on to in your body or in your aura, that have stood in the way of you loving yourself completely and fully and unconditionally, exactly as you are, begin to take on a physical expression, a physical appearance. Imagine that energy that has prevented you from experiencing self-love begins to look like something. You might notice it on parts of your body or inside of you. You might feel a physical sensation where it's being held. And as that energy comes into your awareness, I want you to hear a message from your highest self. And that message is one of freedom, one of forgiveness. Know that your highest self and your soul, with all the perspective of the universe, knows that you have only been doing the best that you could with what you have. There is no fault and there is no blame. You are not wrong for struggling to love yourself. You are not wrong for the experiences that you had or the expectations that you took on from other people. You aren't wrong for your human struggle to embody unconditional love. This is why you're here. You are only learning. And the more that you learn that you are deeply and inherently worthy of all of the love in the universe, the more easy self-love will become. The more it will be second nature to love and accept yourself exactly as you are. And all of this energy that you have gathered to yourself, all of this energy, the traumas, the experiences, the memories that taught you that you weren't worthy, the bad models for self-love that you may have had as a child or growing up, every moment of your life that made you feel disconnected from the love from whence you came, are only the result of your learning, of you growing, of you evolving, of you doing the best that you could with what you had then. And the important part is that that was then and this is now. And as you become more and more aware of that energy and whatever physical appearance you've given it, maybe it's a color and objects, maybe it looks like sludge or smoke, all of that energy, anything you have been holding on to that has separated you from your natural state of self-love, I want you to imagine that you and your higher self begin to remove it from your body Imagine using your hands and your higher self helping you to take it off and out, placing it into the container between you, knowing that whatever we put into that container will be held. It cannot be removed without your permission, no matter how big, no matter how small. All of the energy, all of the expectations, all of the beliefs, anything from the past, this life, another life, this dimension, another dimension, anything whatsoever that has separated you from love goes into this container in the center, no longer being held by your physical body or your energy body. Imagine filling that container between you with energy that's no longer serving you. Whatever it is that you need to release in this moment, giving it a physical appearance with your mind's eye, pulling it out of your physical body, out of your energy body, and putting it in the container between you. Knowing that you are divinely supported in this process. Taking your time, continuing to breathe as this energy leaves your body and fills the container in front of you. And once this is finished, closing the container if it has a lid or a closure, I want you to receive now from your highest self the answer to the following question. What is it that your heart has been trying to teach you? What do you need to learn that is truth from the energy that you've been holding on to? And I want you to receive the answer to that question, whether it be in the form of words or thoughts. Perhaps it's energy or light or a color from your higher self. Be open to whatever might come to mind or whatever you may receive. And as you receive that information, I want you to ask your higher self to turn this container of energy over to source. Imagine that a beam of light comes down from above you, almost like a sci-fi movie. It envelops that container that you've created and filled with the energy that's no longer serving you. And imagine it gets sucked up out of your sacred space with your blessing and intention, higher and higher until it meets the source of all information, the source of all that it is, God Himself, herself, the universe. And there it is transmuted into whatever energy you need the most right now. Whatever energy or truth best supports your embodiment of divine love. And I want you to imagine this new energy now having been transmuted by the universe, knowing that it cannot shift back to what it once was. This new energy coming down from above you. I want you to imagine that it's a color, any color you'd like. And now receive that new energy containing whatever it is that you need the most right now, whatever it is that connects you back to your most natural state of self-love. Imagine receiving that energy from source down through the top of your head, into your body. Imagining that color, that energy filling your body, spreading out, filling every cell, every space, down to the very tips of your fingers, down through each of your chakras, down to the very bottoms of your feet. Receiving that energy and knowing that it is intentionally meant for you in this moment. It is yours. It belongs to you. It is a reflection of your highest and greatest potential. And every cell in your body feels like it belongs there, like that energy has always been yours and you've just been waiting for it to return. And as you receive that energy into your body, now imagine sending that same color out from your heart. Imagine it coming through your hands and send it back out to the universe, creating an infinite loop of energy, an infinite connection between you, your soul, and the universe, always connecting you to your best and highest potential. Taking a deep breath, turn your attention now back to your highest self, thanking your soul for being present and coming forward and for its support now and always. Knowing that you are eternally connected and that you always have access to everything that you need the most, now and always. And from this point forward, you are free from what you released. You are free from what has come before, and your future potential is not limited in any way. And as you thank your higher self and you finish exchanging that energy of gratitude, you can send your higher self back from whence it came, leaving this sacred space. And on your next breath, you also imagine dropping down out of the sacred space that you created and reconnecting with your physical body, reconnecting with your physical surroundings, your physical environment, knowing in this moment that you contain all of the energy that you received. And before you open your eyes and before you move your hands, repeating after me, there are parts of me that have been healed by this. And there are parts of me that have not yet been healed. The parts of me that have not yet are willing to learn from the parts that have. My mind, body, spirit, and energy system are accepting that information now. New neural pathways. The information transfer is complete. I'm grateful. Thank you. Together, divine. Opening your eyes and dropping your hands when you feel ready. Taking another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. This is a really good time to spend a few extra moments journaling about the feelings, the information, the emotions or thoughts, or answers to questions that you may have received during this meditation. Try to record your experience without judgment, knowing that as you are meant to assimilate that new information, it will assimilate. And include any thoughts that you have about what may have been standing between you and a rich life of self-love. What have you learned or experienced in your life that you might have held on to that may have prevented you from truly loving yourself? And now moving forward, what could that look like for you? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this has served you deeply.